Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Lord, we got an understanding.
What's that understanding?
We're on a mission from God.
Oh, yeah, man, on a mission from God. It's like back in the chair again, man. It's been a while, Aaron.
Yes.
I'm a little rusty.
Yes.
Putting the band back together.
Back when I had a big right
We're
toe.
on a mission from God.
You were one toe heavier.
Yes. Yes.
You know, putting the band back together. Ma'am, you got to understand that this is a lot bigger than any domestic problems you might experience. Would it make you feel any better if you knew that what we're asking Matt here to do is a holy thing? You see, we're on a mission from God.
We're going to do a very special show this time around.
First, you trade the Cadillac for a microphone. Then you lie to me about the band. Now you're going to put me right back in the joint.
They're not going to catch us. We're on a mission from God.
Ryan is here. Marco is here. Rolf is here. Rob and Dave is here in spirit.
106 miles to Chicago. Got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
They're the boys from Reborn from Tejas.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Well, how you guys doing?
Doing great.
It works in mysterious ways.
Oh, I
That-
missed it. Missed
that
the
he does.
timing.
Strike up the band, Sal.
Yes, I missed the timing.
Oh, no, you are Mr. Timing. Oh, man. It's all right. Like I said, we're all a little rusty. I think we've only done one sort of show since we've been back from, well, since you've been back, jet setting
Yeah.
around America, the heartland.
Yes, the heartland.
And from what I hear, it should be called Tejas. Right, guys?
Oh,
It's pretty
gosh,
hot down there.
Yes.
All right. It's the guys from Reborn here. If I hadn't said so already. And they got a new album out, Aaron.
I think it's called The War Within, if I'm
The
correct.
War Within.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So what we're gonna do is I'm not calling it a release because you guys already released it. You didn't come to us first, and that's okay. All right. I cry myself to sleep at night, but I'll get over it. But it's okay. We're gonna play the whole album for anybody that hasn't heard it on the MUZKAST version on Spotify. Aaron, maybe we can get more of the songs into the podcast version because I know the boys will give us permission to do that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
Put them on the spot, will ya?
yeah. Hey, this isn't my first rodeo. All right. So, I'm just going to bail out of Sal here. I got to talk to Sal. I haven't talked to Sal in a while. Got to call Sal. And I'm just going to jump right into what you guys have been working on because you got this album out. Tell me a little about it because I could sit here and talk. I'd rather hear it from you guys. Tell me all about the new album, War Within. Don't
Go ahead,
everybody
Marco.
talk at once.
No, go ahead, Marco. Go ahead, Marco.
So we just released our album, The War Within. Man, this has been a long time coming. We've been maybe 2.5 years on this project, and we're just thankful that we have finally gotten exactly what we've been looking for, exactly what everybody else has looked for. We've got nothing but good feedback. And basically the principle of the album is the war within, right? As Christians, we go through obstacles, we go through trials and tribulations and these battles and these things that go on in our minds, and with each song in the album, we talk about just that and how we've overcome those things.
Thus the war within.
Yes, sir.
Because we're always battling with ourselves, right?
Yeah, always.
You got to have the big man upstairs to be the what do they call that? The intermediate, the
Mediator.
I think,
Thank
or
you. Thank you. I knew what I wanted to say. you know, I've been listening to it. I listened to it again today to brush up on it, but I listened to it a few times, like over and over. When Ryan texted me and said, "Have you checked out our new album?" And I was like, "No, I didn't even know you had one out." But I turned it on and I just let it play, and I let it play a few times over, and it's really good. The pace of the album is kind of what struck me because, you know, when we met you a couple of years ago, you only had a couple of songs, and I'm sure you had them all written and everything, but you only had a couple recorded at the time, and uh, you fit those songs in like perfectly as far as the pace of the album goes. It's got a nice pace to it. It flows. So was there thought that went into that?
Yeah, absolutely. There was thought. You know, I imagine as far as selecting the track list, I would listen to the songs in my head, and I imagine myself listening to the album as a listener. How would I want the flow with with the songs we have now? So I had an idea. I had a rough draft list, right? These songs, this in this order. I did bring it to the band, and there was some suggestions back and forth. Some people say, "Hey, why don't you put this song here, close out with this song, and put this one here?" So there was a lot of adjustments made, but overall, but this was the final result, and yeah, it worked. It's worked out perfectly.
And it goes really well with our, like when we perform live, we follow the same flow, the
Oh
same
my
flow
gosh.
structure. You know what I mean?
As I was listening to it, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, this is how they should do their show. It's got a great flow.
Well, when we put this whole thing together, first of all, we were thinking how we're gonna perform it. The second thing, we're gonna like project in it. We don't wanna sound different of what you will hear when we play live. And that was the first thing we put like in when we talked to our producer Tabron Baker. We were like, I don't want you to get too crazy with the effects. What we want to put in the record is who we are, nothing else. And I think it came out pretty good. You can feel the essence of the band and the way we sound since the beginning.
Yeah.
And we're happy about it.
Now, one of the things that I noticed, I want to come back to the flow, but one of the things that I noticed was, by the way, my favorite song from you guys is Deeper Again. I think that's just perfection. The vocals on it, everybody's harmony. I just love it. Okay. I don't know the words, so as I'm driving down the road, I'm like, deeper again. but but I love it, and it sounded different to me on the album. Did you guys remix that or remaster it?
We did. We did from the version of the single when we first released it. Between then and now, we did revamp it. We did remix it. We added an extra layer of guitars on there.
You added beef.
Yeah, beefed it up quite a bit. But
the reimagined version.
Yes.
Oh, one of my favorite words living here in California is reimagined.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, it sounds great, and I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't my cheap speakers in my truck. It was really, it did sound different. But back to the flow. See, people don't realize I do it because I'm a radio guy. I'm always listening for the flow, but people don't listen. Your average listener doesn't listen for the flow. It's one of those subtle subliminal things that, if you don't have a flow, it's like hitting a brick wall. But
very much.
You need that flow. What's that?
It needs to be coherent, like not only the lyrics bring a message, also the way that the songs are put together project the vibe of like a feeling in like the way you feel good when you hear it. If you don't make sense, if you put a song that is completely opposite or you don't go in like in scale, you don't give you the feeling you don't feel good when you're hearing.
Right.
It needs to be
That's the
comfortable.
yeah, that's the subliminal part of it. People don't realize, a lot of people don't realize that, yeah, you got to have that flow. Otherwise, like I said, you hit the brick wall. It just doesn't feel right. Now, did you put the songs in any kind of order to tell any kind of story? I know it's not a concept album, but I know you'll write a lot of your songs based on real life experiences and that sort of thing. So, what was there any kind of storyline that anybody's following through this?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, the songs were written, they came out how they came out. Or really, as we were writing the songs, I don't imagine we had any kind of idea in mind to make it a concept album. It just sort of happened that way.
Yeah.
Especially with the first 3 singles, Ready to Fly, Deeper Again, Reflection. Those songs just came about. They just so happened to relate so much. And we kind of just kept that going lyrically and musically as well. But I mean, no, it was sort of it wasn't exactly planned. It just came out that way.
Just came together that way.
Yeah.
Rock and roll Jesus up there saying, okay, do it just like this.
I think it was very Holy Spirit led, because if you really listen to it, every song on that album, it talks about that relationship that we have with Christ. We're in a constant struggle. That's why the title War Within is perfect, because every day we have these daily struggles where we're trying to live that straight and narrow. And a lot of times we forget and try to do it on our own strength, and we're not going to God. And each song tells that story, from He Calls Us Deeper Again, to, we got to look at the truth inside, and then the reflection. I mean, everything, it just all centers around that relationship, that personal relationship with ourselves and Christ, and just that daily back and forth, that daily struggle, and how we need to continue to look to Him to get through the day. That's one thing I love about the album. So it's kind of crazy you say concept album, right? I mean, it's definitely not Kiss the Elder, thank God. But but I mean, it's almost like the Holy Spirit turned it into a concept album, because that is what we all deal with. That's where we all can relate, and I think that's why the album's so relatable.
Yeah, I lost my place here because I had to pull. There it is. When I say concept album, I try to. Nobody really likes concept albums. I mean, I think the only people that ever did a good concept album would be like Pink Floyd. I
got to give Queensryche on that one. Operation Mindcrime was dope.
You're right. Yeah, we'll give one for Queensryche on that. But yeah, when I say concept album, that's where my mind goes, is The Elder from Kiss.
Yeah.
And I can't say enough bad things about it. But so I didn't want to be insulting like that. I didn't take out that it was a concept album, but it goes to the flow, and I don't want to say it told a story. I didn't get that out of it, but it just had that flow to it. So A Call to Arms is how it starts out, which is only about a minute and a half or something like that, correct?
Yes.
Where did that come from? Was that just a little piece you guys been knocking around? You went, this fits here and we'll do this?
I'll tell you. So it kind of started as an intro, a track opening to our set. Like at the time we were opening with Deeper Again, and I wanted to write a nice intro to open up the show, kind of relate to the song, kind of flow right into playing Deeper Again. And when I first put it together, we first tried it at a show. It was really long. It was like about 2 whole minutes. Yeah. And we're there just waiting for the track to finish to start. I'm like, wow, this is really long.
Ryan's out there.
No. You make him wait.
To get up there.
Yeah. Ryan's out there doing his best Axl Rose, and everybody's looking for him.
Yeah. You make your audience wait.
Should have made it 5 minutes.
You can go order a snack and then come back. Still
Should have went to the hot dog stand.
Let me. Can I talk about the Call to Arms real quick? And when I first heard it, I thought of 2 things, 2 situations. the time I saw Striper on the To Hell with the Devil tour, and the lights went out, and they started playing The Abyss, and the crowd went crazy. And I know you guys do ministry and all that, but it's also part of the show that you put on in front of your audience. And the other time is there was a band years ago called Undercover. They were a punk rock band, and they put out an album called Branded, and they had a prelude there, and they came out to that, you know, and the crowd was just going crazy when they finally got on stage. So I wish more bands would do that, and I hope you have a longer one that you can play, as it takes you longer to get on stage. You know?
Nice.
I'll work on some. Okay, I got some ideas. I got some ideas.
Man.
I got you.
Look what y'all did. Look what y'all did.
But anyway, back.
Marco just need a little push.
So as you know, finishing the story here now.
Yeah.
When I went home to re-edit it and everything, I essentially threw away what I had already, because I had a completely different sound. And as I was trying to make my edits and cuts, I'm thinking, wow, this would be a really nice orchestral piece. Because I was in band in middle school and high school, and I remember in those days I really wanted to work with music and be a composer, be an artist, right? So it kind of took me back into those days. So I'm like, okay, let me write something here. So there I was, and writing the parts and making it this nice orchestral track. And then with the sound effects, that did come later, because I was thinking the theme. We had the title, The War Within, sitting in the back, right? But then I was thinking, okay, how can I relate it to that? So I just threw a bunch of sound effects in there. Guns, explosions going off, thunder.
Oh, the last explosion right before you kick in the music. It's oh my gosh, it's great. So
yeah.
Hey,
So
let's do that here. Let's do that here. We're gonna play a few from the new album. We're just gonna start from beginning to end, and we'll break in after a few songs. So we'll do Call to Arms, then Deeper Again, Truth Inside, and Storms. And we'll be back with Reborn. Back with Reborn. It's Rock Salt MUZKAST Experience. Just me and Aaron today.
Yes.
So
just me.
Just me and Aaron. No Patrick. No Jermaine.
I picked up 4 guys from San Antonio to join us.
Hey.
Well, they just wanted to get in the air conditioning.
Yes. Yeah. Oh man.
We got Ryan, Roth, Marco, and Rob from Reborn. Dave is here in spirit as well, right?
Yeah.
All right.
He's listening for sure.
Okay, good. The new album, War Within. And now we met you we've been doing this for about 3 years now, right, Aaron? We started about April of 20, because we were born out of COVID. And now, how long has Reborn been around?
December 2020, right? December
almost 4 years. Almost 4 years.
Technically, around 2019 is when we started jamming.
Okay.
It's complicated.
It's complicated.
2019.
It was you, Ryan, and the feelings.
Yeah. So 2019 we started jamming. We had a different lineup back then, and we hadn't even written anything original at that point. But the name itself has existed for the last 20 years, I think.
Okay.
So I was in my teens when I drew up the name, and it's taken this long to get this far. But hey, here we are.
Well, I remember that we met Ryan. I remember meeting Ryan, especially over the Zoom, and because we talked about that fantastic video for.
It's probably Ready to Fly.
Ready to Fly. Thank you. I knew I was going to call it the wrong name. I was just hoping one of you jump in there real fast. Anyways, so we've known each other for about as long as Aaron and I have been doing Rock Salt, and we've watched the band grow. And you would have these singles Hey, here's our single. Hey, here's our single. Check out this single. And now you got an album, and I dig it. I'm so happy for you guys
Thank
that
We
and
got a lot of pocket
I
production, baby.
yeah. Well, the whole landscape of making an album has changed. I saw you guys posted on Facebook that you actually have a physical CD, right?
you. Yes, sir.
You buy it at the merch table, support the bands, buy the stuff at the merch table. That's the best way you can support the bands.
Yeah.
If you like the band, support the band. How much can people buy a CD for at the merch table?
$12.
$12. Well, that's a bargain.
You know,
I mean, well, seriously, it really is. I was just looking at records at Walmart, and they're like $20, $30 for a record.
and
Like,
you can even if you message
Eh.
us, we'll ship it to you. You pay for shipping, we'll get it to you.
oh, even better deal.
Hook it up, man.
Yeah, there you go. Will you guys autograph it too?
I mean,
We can
hey,
get
if it's
that, man.
requested, we'll get it.
See, I put him on the spot. I put him on the spot again, Aaron.
We can throw in an autograph. We can throw in an autograph poster or something like that.
Yeah, see, all right, there
Yeah.
you go. I know Aaron loves his autographed mug because
Oh, yeah.
you guys got him the
Yeah.
mug.
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't see the mug. I was a little hurt,
Oh.
man.
Oh, okay.
He keeps it in a glass box on the shelf
Oh, beautiful,
for
beautiful.
display only.
Yeah.
He doesn't
There
want to
you go.
ruin the autographs.
Respect it.
Well, I think it took Rob locking the studio door and going, "Hey, we're finishing this album tonight. Gotta go through me if you want to leave." And it got done.
So we wrapped up the last set with Storms. Tell me a little bit about Storms, because that's one of the new songs, right?
Yes, sir. So, with Storms, really, if you guys have heard us on the podcast before, you all know that what happens with the whole writing concept. Marco throws a riff at me, and I'm like, "All right, come on, lyrics, let's make it happen." And I think at this time, I was going through something that was it was hard for me, just financially, work wise. I was going through a lot of things then, and the first thing that came in my mind was I feel it closing in, like it was a storm, right? You imagine like a tornado or like a hurricane. You see it coming towards you. You're like, shoot, I got to get out of here. Like, this is crazy. I got to run. And that storm inside us is like, sometimes it's just like it's tossing you back and forth. It's pushing you side to side, and you don't even know how to get out of it. So it was like at a point in my life where I almost wanted to just quit, and wanted to just give up on everything. And I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. But that storm, we realized that, something I've read a while back was God gives his soldiers his toughest battles, right? And, so it's like we go through these storms, but it's almost as if it's a test, right? To see if we're going to put our faith in God and our trust in him to get us out of those storms. And that's pretty much where the song comes from. In the bridge part, I'm literally screaming, I'm going to break through the storm, because it's like, I got to get out of this. God, you're going to get me through this. And I'm going.
He's speaking Texan, Aaron. I know nothing of these tornadoes and hurricanes. They live in California.
Well, I mean, we don't really know much of it here in Texas either.
Well, hurricanes.
Yeah, don't you get hurricanes down by the Gulf?
A little bit.
Okay, all right. I
For
just
us,
played.
it's a good thing. For us, hurricane is a good thing because everything is dry. So a little bit of rain.
Yeah, I'm getting off track here, but I do have to throw this in. I went and saw that movie with The Rock. What was Aaron? What was the name of that movie where the Doomsday movie with the big earthquake?
San Andreas.
San Andreas. That's it. And while I was watching that movie and the big tsunami came through, and I went, well, that's probably the best thing that could ever happen to San Francisco, because it'll just wash the streets and clean everything up a little bit. Anyhow, I'm totally what? Who said that? Who said that?
For me, San Antonio, sorry, San Francisco one. It is like in my top 10. Need to go to see it, but then I met a lot of Californians that moved to Texas. They told me, dude,
Yeah.
don't do it.
Yeah, I moved to when I moved back to California. I'm originally from Sacramento, and I left for about 20 years, and I came back. And my plan was actually to move to the Bay Area because my wife and I loved San Francisco so much. It was such a cool city. And over the course of the last 10 years or so that I've been back in California, it's turned into a place where like just recently I wanted to go down and see a concert in San Francisco. I asked another friend of mine, hey, do you want to go see this show with me? And he was like, where's it at? I said, San Francisco. He's like, absolutely not going to go.
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, it's just nobody wants to go. And I don't mean to turn this into that, but anybody that's telling you it's great, no, it's in distress. I'm not going to say that it's dead yet, but it's in distress and it's on life support, brother. Okay, so they need a storm is what I'm getting at. You see how I tied that together?
Nice.
The next song we're gonna play is "Strong Tower." It's a Cutlass song, very popular Cutlass song. Why'd you pick that song to throw on this album?
Ooh,
Yeah, Ryan, why?
We knew that we already had kind of the idea we wanted to do a cover song. And
Okay.
cover song, like Strong Tower was literally, I think, the first song that came up as far as idea, because I know Ryan and I can both say, that song, we grew up on that song. That's probably one of the very first Christian rock songs that I ever heard, for sure. And I knew I've always wanted to play that song live. So it was almost a no-brainer. Cover song, Strong Tower. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Now you're making me feel old, because if I were to pick like one of the first Christian rock songs I ever heard, it'd be like Petra or Steve Taylor. You guys are doing a big Striper, yeah.
Res Band.
I was not a big Res Band until probably their worst album, which was Hostage. Was that the name of that? Yeah, Hostage, which I know people, it's not Res. I like it because that's the one that got me into Res. And now I go back and I listen to the older stuff and I'm like, this is really good.
Yeah.
You're doing a big festival with a lot of bands coming up called Rockin' the River.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what you want to know, or tell me what you know, and I'm going to fill in the blanks.
It's by a river.
And it's gonna be rocking.
And it's gonna be rocking.
Yeah.
Are you playing on a flotilla?
Oh Lord, I hope not.
Well, we need to go to Arkansas, and it's a long drive.
Yeah. It's a little drive for us. We'll be playing on the 30th, which will be the Saturday, there in Harrison, Arkansas. We'll be with the 13 Minutes Amongst the Giants. There's quite a few bit more.
Yeah, I was gonna run down. You guys mind if I run down who's on this thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
I'm going in no particular order here because I'm gonna flip flop some names because I want to talk. Stonewall Static, Ignescent, Becoming Sons, Jericho Harlot. Love Jericho Harlot. Love all these bands, by the way. Just had to throw theirs out. Daniel Wayne. I don't know who Daniel Wayne is. You guys know who Daniel Wayne is?
I don't either.
All right, so he's a question mark. No offense to Daniel Wayne. Aaron, reach out to Daniel and see if we can talk to this guy for real. Filthy Rags. Never heard of them. You guys know them?
Yeah.
Yes,
Sir.
They good, bad, indifferent? What?
Husband and wife team, very passionate when it comes to serving God. They have a very take no prisoners attitude. I love their heart. I love their passion, and it's just two of them.
Okay,
and they can rock it out. Yeah, so
I
they're
heard
really
they have
good.
a drummer now.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I
Awesome.
think so.
Awesome.
all right.
Harry, don't get mad at me if I mess it up.
yeah. Harry Becker, he's an awesome dude. Like I said, their passion is second to none, man. For real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna zoom in on some of the other ones here. Brendan Brooks, 12 Spies, Word Rat, Seeds of Agape, Young Bar, and Audio Prophets. Those are some of the other bands on the bill that I've not heard of. Also, Outlaws for the Cross. I want to give everybody their due. Outlaws for the Cross, At Hand, Amongst the Giants. My friend Jamie over there in 13 minutes. We text every day. Jamie and I text every day. No offense, Ryan. I didn't mean to, make you jealous.
No, it's okay. No, take it.
Saving Jackie and Reborn. And the reason I say Saving Jackie and Reborn for last is, for me, both of your bands just kind of go together because you were two of the first bands that we had on here. And so you're just always kind of together for me, I'd love to see this show. I can't make it out to Harrison, Arkansas, unfortunately, but this is going to be fantastic. I want you guys to take lots of videos of everybody and post them on your page so we can see it and stuff. Are you guys looking forward to this? It sounds like a barn burner.
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Fantastic. Have you? I know you guys have played with Saving Jackie before. You playing with Stonewall Static, right?
Oh yeah.
Becoming Sons.
And Becoming Sons. All right.
Yeah.
You're new to 13 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Super pumped, by the way. Jamie's an awesome dude. I've talked to him a couple of times here and there. That dude is amazing. I'm super pumped to be even sharing the stage with those guys.
Yeah, Jamie's a good guy, and I've seen some of his videos. Bring your arm pads, I guess, is what I should say. For us older guys like me, I'd bring my icy hot to, because I'd be sore after that show. Anyhow, let's get back into the next 3 songs on this, because we're coming up. Next is going to be Reflection, which is one of the songs that you guys had, one of the singles you had before the album. And then I'll kick into What's It Gonna Take and Strong Tower.
And Reflection is heavier too. Now.
Yeah, that is also revamped.
Yep.
Nice.
It's reimagined.
Yeah, reimagined. There you go.
That is a dirty word, Aaron. Stop using that word. You're gonna trigger me, bro. I'm gonna need a safe space. It's the Rock Solid MUZKAST Experience with Reborn. Back with Reborn on the Rock Solid MUZKAST Experience with Aaron and Dave, Ryan and Roth, Marco and Rob, and let's not forget Dave. Not me, the other Dave. Yeah.
Dave's not here.
Yeah, you beat me to it, Rob.
Oh gosh.
Stop stealing my jokes, brother, because I already stole them. Because that ain't my joke.
Now the next song we're gonna play is "Ready to Fly." Did you redo that one too for the album, or no?
Yes.
Enhance it.
Okay, enhanced. Okay, we're gonna go with it.
Yeah, way better word. Maybe we can this thing. I'll reimagine something for you. No, I'm just playing with it. Hey, speaking of reimagining things, how about a little new metal? I know Ryan does some rap.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, you're gonna do some rapping on. I mean, you don't have any rapping on this, right? I don't remember any.
Nothing on this album.
Just the plastic on the CD.
There you go. Good one.
Put 'em bumps.
He's here all week, folks.
Yeah, so nothing on this album. But some stuff that we have in the works is gonna maybe introduce that. Maybe.
I
won't give away too much.
Spoiler alert.
Lila Ryan is back, baby.
Well,
man.
I I gotta ask, is it gonna be more rap or is it gonna be kind of new metal, you know, Linkin Park like?
Yeah, it's gonna definitely be a mixture.
Yeah, we'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Way to be
Exactly.
non-committal, guys.
We got to save the surprise, man.
Yes.
All right. I was trying to think of a really bad rap band.
Don't poke Rob. He likes. He just need a little push. Little more.
Rob, I was gonna ask you, when you're on stage, it must be pretty, you know, exciting, I guess, that you get to tell the jokes and do your own rim shots.
All the time.
I see.
It's empowering, right?
Very much so. Hey, there's one thing I do want to mention, and I think you guys already played the song, but the song "What's It Gonna Take." We've already had a couple of people ask about that song, and for those that don't know, that's not Ryan. That's not Ryan singing. That's Marco singing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's Marco singing lead, Ryan singing rhythm or background. And and I got to tell you, that song, I love that song. I really love that song. It gives you a whole different vibe compared to everything else on the album. For me, it reminds me a lot of a Black Label Society. If you really listen to Marco singing it, he's got a bit of an Ozzy tone to his voice. I think that song is one of the sleepers on the album because it's a really, really good song. Very fun to play. Not as much fun as Storms, but yeah, it's a great song. But yeah, that's Marco singing on that song.
I don't know. I don't want to sound insulting, not at all. Okay. So if it comes out that way, forgive me. But this is not an album like the best I could describe it is like the excitement of a hair metal band, woohoo, you know, party.
Right.
It's not that kind of rock
Not
album.
at all.
This
It's
is
groovy. It's a little groovy.
Yeah, it's more groovy. It's kind of a little red, like, you know, it's a good hard rock, but it's got that groove. And it's
7 Day
slower.
Slumber-ish, I would say.
It's a little slower in parts, but then it picks back up, and I'm like, yeah, okay, we're back. And because I'm into that party kind of music usually, and that's what I see. I'm gonna dig myself a hole. I was gonna say that's what I connect with, but I do connect with you guys because this is that you want to put on some headphones and just kind of chill but rock out at the same time type of thing. That's what this is, as far as musically speaking, right? Am I wrong in that?
Well, groove is very important. I mean, look at Pantera. They wouldn't be the band that they were if it wasn't for that groove that they have. Just, you know, Dime Rex and God, I already forgot his name. Phil's vocals, and then of course you got Vinny. Just that section with that groove that they had. That's why their stuff was so great. It's 2s and 4s, man. 2s and 4s.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that's one thing about Reborn that I love, and it's that groove that you get when you hear our songs. If you listen to every song, you're into it, and then all of a sudden we make you want more because right in the middle we get a breakdown, and Marco comes in with a crazy riff, and then all of a sudden it builds back up, and it just it's awesome. I mean, you hit the nail on the head when it comes to grooves for sure.
There's some really good bass riffs too.
Oh yeah,
the
definitely.
album, and you can definitely tell your part with the drums and all that is enhanced from the earlier stuff, and you know, it's just your type of playing. But one thing I like about Reborn as a whole is Marco puts together those riffs, and each song he has something new for you. The sound may sound a little the same, but the riff is going to throw you off and be totally different.
He's the riff master, man.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, let's jump back into the music. And where did I leave off, Aaron? Do you remember?
Ready to Fly.
Ready to Fly. So, all right, so we're ready to fly because this was the first single, right, Ryan?
Yes, sir. First single we ever released.
This is where we met you.
Yeah,
this is where
it all started.
That, I think
where it all started.
December 5th of 2020, I think, is when we released that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we got you a little before that, didn't we? Or was it after that?
It might have been after.
It was right after the Sound for the Crown.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it was spring 2021.
Yeah, you sent me the song, and I was like, this is a really good song.
Yeah,
And
it was after Sound for the Crown, and
yeah,
that was in March, I think.
March
If I remember
2021.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And right after that, I was like, you know, these guys pulled this song off because the riffs and everything in that song is really really good.
Well,
Yeah.
the video is what hooked me because it's a
Yeah.
pretty powerful video. I'm not going to go into it, but go on YouTube and check it out. It's ready to fly. The album's War Within. This is Reborn and a rock salt MUZKAST experience. Even I get tongue tied sometimes. All right, rock salt. Back with Reborn, rock salt MUZKAST experience. The new album War Within. And it's been in the works for quite a while because you guys cranked out some singles back in 20 and 21, right? And
Yes,
they're
It's finally done.
And a lot of COVID, man.
It's done.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
every time I would ask him when the new single was coming out, Marco
When it's
would always go, "When it's done, that's when it's going to be out."
well,
It's done.
they're pushing for new COVID, so maybe a new album, huh?
Oh man.
I don't think it's gonna work in here in Texas. People are already fighting.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, brother. It's not going to work here in California either. Everybody's fed up. Fed up. If those people have any aspirations of a political career, they'll stop now because they ain't getting votes if they pull that again. Anyhow, one song left on the album called "Worship You Alone." And Aaron mentioned it. He asked if he'd written it as a worship song. It's kind of a rocker if it is a worship song, right? I mean, it's not something typically you hear on Sunday morning.
Right.
That's the mission statement of this band, bro.
Yeah.
Now, have you guys played it on Sunday morning? Have you got up there and rocked out? Do you guys do that at your churches?
No.
It'd be cool.
I think you should. I see nothing.
Maybe some people wake up for service.
Hey, what's that? What's that? Help me out here, Aaron. You're the Bible college guy. What's that verse about make a joyful noise, worship the Lord?
Yeah.
Thank you. I knew it was a psalm. I'm really bad with the Bible verses. I know what they are, but I don't know where to find them.
Well, disciples playing these worship sets. Disciples playing these worship sets, and Chaotic Resemblances doing worship nights. So maybe Reborn start doing something like that.
Hey, not to put
which one is the man of the valley that did a worship song in the convictions gig that actually everybody stopped and start worshiping?
Oh, that was Bloodlines, bro.
Bloodlines.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was powerful, dude.
Yeah.
And let me ask you, I'm probably the odd man out, and I don't mean offense to any band that does it. Okay. Just me as somebody who's going to see a show. I don't get into the worship music at the show.
Yeah.
Does anybody else feel that way?
Oh, we love it. I love it.
You do? Okay. Rob doesn't. I mean, not that you don't love it. I'm just saying you don't get into it at a rock show, right?
No, man.
The problem is the band's background. If the band that you're watching is a ministry, you'll get a worship song. It's coming.
Yeah. I got you.
If you're a fan, you will have one for sure.
It's a tough question to ask because there's no good way to ask it. I'm just talking about as a music fan going to see a rock show. It speaks to a lot of people. I see a lot of people at these shows get into them.
It's going to really depend on the atmosphere because we did a show not too long ago with Tricord, and it was just supposed to be a rock concert, metal concert, right? That's what it was. But when the Holy Spirit moves, you've got to go with where the Spirit takes you. I mean, we did what's the worship song we did, guys? We did Reckless Love. Now, of course, when we do worship songs, we rock them out because that's who we are, but we did Reckless Love, and that situation called for it, and the Holy Spirit moved crazy that night, right, guys?
Yeah.
I mean, it was awesome. So I think it really depends on the atmosphere, it depends on the circumstance. But if a band just busts out a worship song just because it's the popular song to play, to me, it's just like doing a cover. You know,
And
and
Now
I'm
that
sending.
that people can
that one
feel
I'll agree
that where
with.
the heart is too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you're faking it just to be with the crowd, the people will notice, and that's a bad
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, do you guys ever, break from the set list and just go, hey, I'm feeling this. Let's do this here? Or are you pretty structured when you're on stage?
We've broken away before. I mean, that's what we did at that show. In fact, I'll be honest, I'm the one that kind of called the audible. I
Yeah.
got Marco's attention. I said, dude, we need to do our worship song here. We need to do, Reckless Love. We did our worship song that we have on the album, which is Be Heard. But then after that, I said, we need to keep this going. And we went into Reckless Love right after.
Awesome. And I want to clarify what I'm saying here. Aaron, you can help me out a little. It's
Okay.
like when we go to see Crowder. I mean, my favorite song from Crowder is Run Devil Run. That's the kind of show I want to see. And then he starts to kick into the worship song and worship music. And I'm kind of like, okay, you kind of lost me. I'm more into that Run Devil Run thing. I'm into it. And I'm not faulting any band, and I'm not faulting any fan of that. It's just me personally. And I think that there might be other people like me out there, but it sounds like you guys punch it up a little.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely.
We tap that bank from time to time, sir.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think this is a fantastic way to end the album. The name of the song, Worship You Alone, it is a rocker. Even though it's got the worship title, it's a rocker.
Yeah.
My favorite
Oh,
song.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely one of my favorites.
I'm gonna tell you, I was listening to it, and it took me back to my early '80s, Christian rock days. It really did. It kind of just picked me up and put me over there for a minute, because
Yeah.
not that it sounded that way, but it was just like, yeah, I could totally hear this on any one of those albums that I was listening to back then.
Yeah.
And not that it sounds 80s. It's very fresh. I'm just saying, it had that feel to it though.
It's that riff, man. That riff is killer. And then the way Tabron went in there and started it with it kind of in the background, a little faded out, and then it kind of comes in with the ear, and then it just kicks off. I mean, it's dope the way he did it. It was awesome.
Yeah. Well, thanks guys for coming on. Last words, anybody? Let's go around the table. Rob, what do you got to say?
I gotta say, if you haven't heard the album, you need to go hear the album. If you want a CD, get with us and bring us to your city, because Reborn wants to get out there and spread the gospel the way God has called us to do it. So we hope to see you guys.
Yeah, talk to your pastors and youth pastors and tell them you want Reborn in your church.
Right.
Rob, what do you got to say for yourself?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to Tabron for the help. All the people that donate their time and their money to finance what we did. Also, our families, they're part of it. And we hope that when you listen to the record, it gives you the same blessing that we felt in the studio when we recorded. And it's in every platform, music platform, and we have it in CD. If you go to the concert, please, every CD that you buy, every shirt that you buy, picture, whatever, helps this ministry to keep moving.
Awesome. Ryan, what do you got to say? And I want you to wrap it.
Sorry, bro.
Like, if I could do it on the spot like I used to, I probably would. But honestly, man, we just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody who has put their time, like Ralph said, who's put their time and who supported us, really, because, number one, without God, none of this would be possible. The music that we create, the lyrics that we sing, none of this would be possible. And of course, to the people who do support us and have supported us financially and bought merch and bought things from us, even just giving us just to give, we appreciate every last one of you. And of course, to you guys, really, from Rock Salt, I mean, you guys have supported us since day one. I mean, let's be honest. We met you 3 years ago, and here we are with an album. So really want to thank you guys. Y'all been nothing but supportive, and everybody's done a good job here. Everybody's done their part, and we could thank our families, thank our friends, and everybody who's just been there for us. Check out the album. It's on streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, Deezer, wherever you stream music. Just check us out. Bring us to your city. Again, we want to worship with you. We want to minister. Tell your youth pastors, your pastors at your church, anybody. We'll go anywhere. We'll minister at the park. We'll go wherever God leads us, and let's do it. Let's get it done.
They'll minister on a flotilla out in the river. Marco.
Watch out now.
Polo. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, everybody hit the nail on the coffin there. So everybody just said what I was going to say anyway. But huge thank you again to all of our friends and family who supported us throughout this process of creating the album, and also shout out to my parents. Since day one, since I told my dad one day, hey, I want to start a band one day. Since day one, he's been nothing but supportive. And being a musician himself, I've learned so much from him as far as being in a band and leading a band. And along the way, I've learned so much from my dad. So huge shout out to my dad. Love you, Dad, if you're watching. And also, again, our friends and family who supported us from day one. And shout out to Dave. All right, he couldn't be here with us for this podcast, but shout out to Dave. Everybody in this band has something to bring to the table. Everybody's got their own flair, their own influences. So Dave and I have split duties as far as lead on the album. So he has a lead. He has some leads in there somewhere. So, but yes, shout out to Dave again. Love you, brother. Yeah, there's my spiel there.
And Marco, what's your socials? How can they find you on Facebook and X and all of that?
Anywhere, we're everywhere. Instagram, officialreborn.com, official reborn 3 on TikTok. Do I have that right, Ryan?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook.
Does that mean you're the third official reborn?
We just started with 3 official members. No.
See, Ryan with the save.
Hey, it's me, Marco, and Jesus, baby. That's how we started.
Hey,
officialreborn.com, right? Too?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right.
And I do want to throw this in. I know we've mentioned it several times. You guys are not here to sell your t-shirts and CDs. That's not what you're here for. That's a big thing that I push because I know that these bands, even the big bands nowadays, they're not rich, man. And how they really make their money is not off of CDs anymore. It's not off of ticket sales so much. It's selling t-shirts and CDs. And if you would like a band, just like you like going to that mom and pop restaurant down the street, you need to support them and, buy a CD, buy a t-shirt, just any way you can, because it helps them, continue to do what they're doing. You guys all have day jobs, and this is not your full-time job where you're feeding your family. So that's why I push that. It's not a sales pitch. It's just a help the band pitch.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Amen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's do it, man. Let's wrap this up. Guys, thanks for coming on. It's Reborn, the new album, The War Within, and this is Worship You Alone.